Did you know that about 1 in 10 people may have a seizure in his or her lifetime? That means seizures are very common, but not many people know what to do when someone has a seizure. Epilepsy is a chronic disease and a disorder of the brain that causes seizures. There are about 3.4 million people with epilepsy nationwide. Today, I have the privilege of speaking with 2 people who live with epilepsy. This is their story.
Hi, my name is Ambar Acosta and I'm here to talk to you about epilepsy.
Hola, yo soy Jorge Acosta y junto con mi hermana Ambar vamos a platicarles sobre nuestra experiencia con epilepsia.
Hola, yo soy Andrea Marquez and this is LatinEQUIS, a show brought to you by La Red Hispana and the Hispanic Communications Network for the new generation of Latinx. We're tired of listening and ready to speak up. So join us in conversation every week as we talk to Latinx from all over, de todos los colores y sabores. As you know, a podcast is a journey. So make sure to follow ours on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at LatinEQUIS and learn more at wearelatinequis.com. Tell me a little bit about yourselves. I know, Jorge, you're the one who lives with epilepsy. Ambar, you are the family member of someone with epilepsy. So tell me a little bit about what that has been like. What is it like to live with epilepsy?
Well, if I remember good, you started when you were around 8 or so. So I remember I went outside once to the grocery store to get something. And then when I came back, I saw him laying down on the floor and my little dog was licking his face. And I was like, stop playing, or what are you doing? I don't get that game. But then he was really having a hard time, like get himself together again. And then I started worrying. So I was around 9 and he was 8 because he's 1 year younger than me. And then I just called my dad and then I said, Dad, George is acting weird. I don't know what to do. He was like dizzy, like didn't know if it was like any day of the week. He was like so confused. So after that we said like, I don't know. We didn't take like really importance to that part. But then there was another time after, maybe in the same month, that we saw him actually having a seizure. So that was really hard to see because it was the first time I saw someone having one in my life. I didn't know what to do. We weren't prepared at all to help him.
And through all of that, I mean, I know you were pretty young, Jorge, but do you remember what you were feeling or what that experience was like for the first time?
I was very confused and I have a terrible headache because I don't know what happened to me. And I remember my little dog, her name was Sally. She was playing with me and I wake up after the epileptic episode, and I was trying to understand what happened to myself, right? And she and the dog Sally watched me like hey man, we were playing. What happened to you? Then I saw my sister's face, my dad's face, scared, like I don't know, like I was dying, something like that. But at the first time, I couldn't understand what happened to me, and I remember that feeling about negación, and the first 5 years I was living like that, negándolo, because it was so hard to accept that I was epileptic, right?
And
Something like that, and that in that moment becomes the angry, I don't know, to feel like excluido, enojado, molesto. No, why me? Why God? Why don't you love me? I'm your son. Something like that.
Yeah, it was really frustrating.
Before that, had you guys ever encountered anyone or anything like that lived with epilepsy?
No, and actually we did a little research with our grandparents and uncles, and I think nobody had it before in the house, so it was like really new. That's why we didn't know how to treat it. But he was having seizures like really often. ¿Cuándo los tenías? ¿Como una vez a la semana?
Como cada 2 semanas.
Mm-hmm.
Sí.
And it was so often. And then I started noticing, because I was most of the time with him, since we were like too close, I noticed some symptoms in his face. So first, what I noticed is like his side is like, if you're talking to him, he doesn't pay attention anymore, just like watching the ceiling or whatever. And then he started having like some shake around the mouth. And then
twitching.
And then because of those symptoms, there were some times that I was able to get behind him and hold him. Otherwise, he will fail. He had, I remember, 2 really awful episodes. One was when he fell from the main entrance of the house. It was like 2 meters high, and he hurt his head. And the worst one was because he was driving to the grocery store or some place nearby, and he had a seizure while he was driving the car. Fortunately, he didn't hit anyone or hurt himself, just maybe a little pain neck, and then he crashed against the wall. But it was weird for us because nobody knew exactly what kind of epilepsy he had. And then he was taking insane and it didn't work, and then some doctors changed it or then gave more doses, but nothing was like seeing better. So we didn't know what to do, and I guess you, George, started thinking like, I don't like this feeling, that's why you were so angry, but we might all have to live with this. We don't know if it's going to end soon or it's going to be forever. We didn't know anything about the future with him.
You say something at the start of this interview that when I live with epilepsy. No, everybody lives with epilepsy when the diagnóstico. Mm-hmm. Cuando el diagnóstico llega a casa, todos se convierten en la epilepsia, o todos viven. Everybody lives with epilepsy. La diferencia es que yo lo aparezco, pero toda la familia se enferma. O sea, sí, estoy tratando de explicarme. Yeah, but everybody in the family gets sick, right? But mm-hmm. only one is the symptom, the diagnostic. I don't know how to say it. And that's the thing about when I was getting an adolescent, right, when I was growing up, because it was frustrating to me to see my sisters getting scared or my father crying, because I feel responsible. Yeah. Sometimes I wish me quería morir. Sí. Muchas veces yo me quería morir porque yo ya no quiero que mi hermana sufra, o yo ya no quiero que mi papá se preocupe. Y son estos sentimientos de culpa, guilty, angry, cuando te ves enfermo porque ves que afectas a los otros. Sí.
Epilepsy is the 4th most common neurological problem, yet diagnosis and treatment are often delayed. 30% of people with epilepsy do not gain full control of their seizures and continue to struggle day to day with the threat of imminent seizures. About 1 in 3 people live with medication-resistant epilepsy. These facts illuminate the challenges of living with epilepsy and why we need more medical research on epilepsy. Since public health professionals may encounter people with seizures in any setting, providing up-to-date information on diagnosis, treatment, and self-management care may help improve access to epilepsy care. How do you prepare as the family member of someone who suffers from epileptic seizures?
At the beginning, we started like just following the advices of the doctors. The doctor said that we wait between, if it was 5 to 7 minutes, right? The epilepsy episode, and after that, the relaxed movement, it didn't matter. But if it was longer than 5 or 7 minutes, we need to take him to the hospital. I don't think we did that, like after one episode, to take him to the hospital because he was having a long one. But yeah, and also going back a little bit about the family thing is that you all start getting prepared. And also I remember because we were in middle school together, different grades, but together. So sometimes the classmates of George were knocking on my door, and I just know it by their look in their face, like, oh my God, your child has seizure. And then I went there and they were all worried. So it was a really big group in that school. We all had like around 40 classmates. So they were worried, and then eventually they start asking me questions about how to do it and how to react, because we were like, I was on the first floor, he was on the third, and it would take me so long to go and help him. So I start giving this kind of advices that the doctors gave us. And then after many years, I remember we were with another friend from high school, David, and he was in the car with us, and he had a seizure. And I was like, oh my God. But luckily we were there and we know what to do. And then after that, a few years in college too, one of my professors had it. And then I was the only one who knew how to react. My other classmates didn't know. So I was really well prepared after many years of how to help someone with a seizure problem.
I'm wearing an Epilepsy Foundation shirt, and the Epilepsy Foundation is doing something super cool, which you guys may or may not know about, but they are offering seizure first aid training to just anybody who wants to take it. A lot of people have signed up by now, and we want to encourage people to sign up. And I think your stories are so cool because it partially answers the question of, why should we even take this class? Why does it matter? So in your own words, can you guys tell me why you think it's important for anyone, no matter if you don't have any family members that don't live with epilepsy, but for anybody to take these trainings? Why is it important?
Okay. I will say that because of all the things that we learn about many doctors, so it's not like if the person has a diagnosis of epilepsy. So some kids, when they are growing, they can have some seizures eventually, and then they stop, but they don't are like chronically sick. So everybody can have it. Some people, I think, they also have seizures because of the heat, or they are not hydrated at all. I don't know. We've heard a lot of things. But yeah, I think it's really important for all of us to know what to do in some cases, because you don't know if the people near you is going to need it once. We both studied in college psychology, and then I studied criminology, and then he finished a master also in therapy,
therapy. I'm Gestalt therapy. And one of my motivations to study that is just my sickness. Yes. Mm-hmm. Because when you feel that the pain in yourself is when you try to understand the pain and the suffering in other people. So the reason that I can tell you, que te puedo compartir, la que te puedo decir, es simplemente por interesarse por el otro, por interesarse por el dolor del otro, ya sea enfermos, no enfermos. Creo que vale la pena conocer y tratar de apoyar y hacerle al otro la vida un poco menos dolorosa dentro de las posibilidades que uno tenga. Sí, emocional, físicamente. Esa es mi razón.
Fortunately, the Epilepsy Foundation has a seizure first aid training, and it's the only certification training program that ensures the public learns how to assist and supports the more than 3.4 million people living with epilepsy in the US. By offering seizure first aid training to an array of professionals, the Epilepsy Foundation will make certain the public health and health education workforce is better prepared to assure a seizure-safe nation. The training is also offered in Spanish, so for more information, visit epilepsy.com/primeros auxilios. So thank you for sharing those stories, both of you, because I think those are powerful reasons why you should be taking a training like this, because you never know when you might run into an event of these, and it's powerful to always remember that there might be someone out there someday that will need you, and it doesn't take a lot. The training is, you just take it. It's very easy in the sense of it's not like years of practice no, you just need to know what to do. And in that line, can you guys tell me what are some of the main things you should do if you encounter one of these events of someone having an epileptic seizure?
Space, time, love. Because in that moment, we feel like we don't have sometimes a reason to live. We feel like we are like a
Vivo en España.
Como que les echamos la vida a perder a nuestra familia.
Algo así como una carga.
Como una carga, sí. Entonces, en cuanto al trabajo de echar la mano, sí, o sea, salvarlos, sí, es lo que dice Ambar, sí, es súper importante. Pero en cuanto al trabajo emocional, psicológico, sentimos una culpa tremenda y un dolor que solo nosotros a veces tenemos que digerir a solas. Por eso hablo mucho de la soledad. Y no una soledad porque estemos mal, sino es porque arruiné la fiesta, arruiné la reunión.
Choqué el carro. Ahora vas en el taller.
Lo que sea, ¿no? O simplemente soy una carga para mi familia. Sí. Denme tiempo, denme espacio para digerir esto. Sí. Eso es la parte más emocional.
¿Cuál sería tu consejo para una madre o un padre o una hermana que acaban de diagnosticar a alguien en su familia o su hermano chiquito, a su hijo, a su hija, a alguien con epilepsia?
Yo creo que primero, híjole, es que sí es como un shock muy fuerte. Sería, pues, no responsabilizar a nadie, simplemente intentar entender un poco la condición. Ok, ahora vamos a vivir todos con esta condición. ¿Qué vamos a hacer para que trabajando juntos sea más fácil y llevadero? Yo creo que durante la adolescencia es cuando a Jorge le dieron muchos más ataques, eventualmente fueron disminuyendo. Ahorita creo que te da como 1 al año, ¿no?
No, ya. Tengo 4 años.
Ya llevas 4 años. Wow. Pero en la adolescencia, que era cuando él más quería quiero salir, quiero estar al mismo ritmo que todos mis compañeros, pero de repente el dolor de cabeza después de un episodio de epilepsia es tan fuerte que es querer estar en un cuarto oscuro toda la tarde y ni siquiera saber si ya cambió de día o no, o qué pasa afuera, ¿no? Entonces, lo que hizo mi papá, y yo de alguna manera también contribuí a eso, fue no tratarlo como un enfermo, simplemente que tomara sus medicinas y eso, pero que hiciera su vida lo más normal posible. Y creo que eso también influyó a que, como él dijo, creciendo, queriendo encontrar propias respuestas y retribuir a lo mejor un poco a la familia, pues ambos decidiéramos estudiar psicología y sobre todo Jorge se dedica ahorita de manera específica a la terapia, tiene un podcast también donde ayuda a la gente, entonces creo que el hecho de haber tratado con mucha normalidad esa situación en la casa generó que se hiciera menos pesado, como la carga que decía que a lo mejor él se llegó a sentir en algún momento, nosotros le intentamos normalizar en la familia lo más posible. Sería eso, normalizar.
Cuidado con la lástima, junto con la normalización.
Sí.
Porque a veces no solamente son los padres, y digo no todos, los grupos. Está enfermito. Yo recuerdo que vivía esto de, ay, mi vida, necesitas algo, estás bien. Y eso causa un trato distinto. Entonces, yo he visto, porque por lo mismo me he puesto a revisar muchos artículos científicos y de sociales también sobre el trato con epilépticos, o sea, con mis compadres. Se trata de explicar el fenómeno de la rabia, la ira y todo eso. A veces la rabia no es tanto por el ser epiléptico o por los medicamentos que también llegan a alterar. Es por el hecho de que me tratan con lástima. Me tratan como si fuera mínimo, como si fuera menos que los otros. Y eso provoca la agresión en muchas personas con epilepsia. Y yo lo llegué a vivir. ¿Te acuerdas? Pues era de, es que me dicen que yo soy... Entonces, pues, bueno, no voy a entrar en detalles. Sí.
Hey guys, don't forget to get into the La Red Hispana and LatinEQUIS social media to participate in our giveaway, where we'll send you some epilepsy shirts, as well as some bracelets, some towels, but participate so we can send you some goodies home. I think a great first step is to have conversations like these ones and also remind people that there are resources out there that you can help, you can learn, educate yourself. Go into the epilepsy. I feel like I'm an influencer for the Epilepsy Foundation. Go into the epilepsy page and take the training. I'm going to sign up to take the training as well. I mean, I have friends who live with epilepsy, but I personally have never encountered anybody having an epileptic seizure in front of me. But I want to be prepared if the day comes. I don't want to know that I had the opportunity to learn and didn't take it. So that is my recommendation to anyone watching this, to you guys. Ambar and Jorge, thank you so much for this. Is there anything else you would like to say?
Thank you. And a public, un agradecimiento nuevamente a ti, Ambar, por mi hermana, por todas las veces que ha estado conmigo. Porque terapéuticamente lo que más llega a ser curativo para una persona es la relación. Y como puedes ver ahorita, mi hermana siempre ha estado conmigo. Y si algo yo le agradezco a la vida es que mi hermana ha estado siempre respaldándome y apoyándome, a pesar de que hay momentos donde incluso yo, como epiléptico, que es una palabra que no me gusta ponerme, pero pues porque me peleo luego con ella, pero a veces me contento. Y a pesar en los ratos donde incluso como no sé, como con esta síntoma, esta enfermedad, quisiera, a veces uno se desprecia mucho, hace falta personas que con todo y eso te reciban. Y yo te agradezco eso siempre.
Even if no one in your family has epilepsy, or you don't have epilepsy, it doesn't mean that you might never come across someone who has an epileptic seizure. If that ever happens, wouldn't you want to know what to do? That's why you should take the Epilepsy Foundation's Seizure First Aid Training Certification. Because if that moment ever comes, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. For more information, visit epilepsy.com or check out the description of this episode, where you'll find everything you need to know to take the certification. It's also offered in Spanish and is completely free. So visit epilepsy.com/primeros auxilios for more information. That's epilepsy.com/primeros auxilios for more information. This episode was brought to you by the Epilepsy Foundation.